philosophy and what is cheating philosophy. What is real religion, what is cheating religion. You have some intelligence, you can start to distinguish a little bit. So it helps, but it's not particularly the qualification, because we see so many extremely intelligent people, but they're not taking up Krishna consciousness per se. Or extremely poor people, and they're not taking Krishna consciousness per se. Extremely pious people in India who are born in high-class families of Brahmanas, what is the intellectual classes of society, who have so much knowledge of Shastra, which is the Vedic literatures, they're also not Krishna conscious. So, just by being pious or ordinary piety, it is not the qualification for the performance of devotional service. So in this verse, we start to realize what is the qualification, and Krishna starts to move towards that, or Srila Prabhupada here gives us a proper understanding of what that piety is. That by the association of this material energy, we meet good and evil in this world. But by the association of devotees, we transcend above what is good and evil of this world and to come to the platform of transcendence. Why? Srila Prabhupada says here that if one wants to be liberated, he must render service to the devotees. But one who associates with materialistic persons is on the path leading to the darkest region of existence. All the devotees of the Lord transverse this earth just to recover their conditioned soul from the delusion. The impersonalists do not know that they're forgetting their constitutional position as a subordinate to the Supreme Lord is the greatest violation of God's laws. Unless one is reinstated in his own constitution, it is not possible to understand the personality of Godhead. So the devotees of the Lord, or the personalities who have knowledge, who are real yogis, who are actually connected with God, they travel around and they create that piety. They create what is called krita punya, that the transcendental piety. They create that gives them the qualification to be able to see beyond this material world. Just like if one is blind, one cannot see the sun, and one may deny the sun. One may even completely, or you can say somebody who has a blindfold on, there's a better analogy you could say. If you have a blindfold on for your whole life, you may say, well, there is no sun. Everything is darkness. There is nothing. There is no light. But if somebody comes and cuts open the blindfold and allows you to see, then you can accept. Because right now our hands are tied behind our backs. We cannot move. We are stuck. We are bound up by our own activities. Whether it is good or bad, we are bound up in this world. So because we're bound up, we're completely blind to what is transcendental. The devotees, the association of those who can actually see, they have seen the sun. They have realized. They have realized the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then they can give us the vision by which we can also start to come to the platform of transcendence. And when one actually starts to associate with those who are on the platform of transcendence, just like we spoke before, one type of you are the average of your association, right? So if one lets go of materialistic association, which Srila Prabhupada mentions here, which lead one to the darkest region of material existence, and he starts to associate with those who are on the platform of transcendence, or who are on the path of transcendence, of Krishna consciousness, then by the sword of knowledge, or you could say there's a cleansing of the mirror of the heart. The devotees of the Lord, they help us start to clean off all this dirt that is giving us the misconceptions of life, dualities of this world. And they clean this off and they allow us to see clearly who we actually are. us as the eternal loving servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They allow us to see that very clearly. They remove the blinding knot of material existence. They release us from that. So then we start to see above everything. We start to see on the platform of spiritual existence. We start to act. So the piety is created by the devotees of the Lord. The transcendental piety. It's like a transcendental bank account. What do? They come and they may approach you and they may give you a book, and you may be nice enough, pious enough, you could say, to give a donation. Or you may not even give a donation. Sometimes a devotee may need a little bit of help, just like the women have been cooking, and you go down and you help them clean the kitchen, or you buy something for Krishna. You may give flowers to Krishna, or flowers to the devotees, or just appreciate the devotees. Just by their presence, because they are completely on the spiritual level, there's pure devotees of the Lord, they create that atmosphere of transcendental piety. They allow us, they remove this darkness of material existence. But one must be ready to step out of the dark also. The sun may shine, but you may step into the shadows. The sun is actually always shining. It is always available for us, this knowledge. Because the devotees of the Lord, they have gone out of their way to make sure that it is available. As they transverse this earth just to recover the conditioned souls from their delusion. But we must be ready to step out into the light. We must be ready to take upon that opportunity. Just like if you're stuck in a very dark well, somebody throws down a rope. But then, you're not willing to hold on. They're like, I'll do the pulling, you just hold on. But you don't want to hold on. I'm too attached. There's a nice story in this regard of somebody is hugging a tree, and he says, I can't let go. It's like this tree, I'm attached to this tree and I can't let go. This tree, where somebody's cutting the tree. So what is happening in this story? I forget for some reason that this person is hugging. This is from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Let me go, yeah. He's holding onto the tree and say, let me go, let me go, let me go. You fool, you're holding onto the tree. He says, let go of the tree. So sometimes the devotees of the Lord come to create that piety. They're there to create that pious atmosphere, or to create the piety for the ordinary living entities who are lost in this material existence. They go out of their way to do that. They don't have to do that. They're already situated on transcendental existence. But because they are the servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they descend, or they come to give this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is speaking this, but factually, we would never get this. This is spoken in battlefield of Kurukshetra 5,000 years ago. How would we get this? How would we have this knowledge? Not possible to have this knowledge. And then after 5,000 years, it is being preserved with its original text through a parampara. This is how we, know it's bona fide. It's by the line of teachers that are teaching it. That is preserved, the line of teachers. You will see many Bhagavad Gitas, many versions of the Bhagavad Gitas, but they're all just speculations of their own ideas of the philosophy. But there has been a preservation of this knowledge over thousands of years by those devotees to give this pure, absolute knowledge. So Krishna is there speaking the Bhagavad Gita, but factually the devotees of Krishna, they are creating the ability for us to actually understand this. Without the purports that are given here, some people just read the translation, but actually the real understanding is in the purports of these books, because it's very difficult to understand Bhagavad Gita otherwise. It's simple but difficult at the same, because we're deluded. But these nice explanations are given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, as he said often that to his disciples, I have created your piety. I have created your good fortune. So factually speaking, we have not much good fortune and we don't have so many good qualities to take up upon this process of devotion service on our own strength. I mean, we look at our own lives and it's like, acted piously, I don't know. Sinful, definitely. Basically, if you grow up in the Western world, every other step is a sinful activity, basically. You can walk out of here, you can drink, smoke, and have sex and do all of this within 5 minutes of this location. I don't even have to walk out of here, right? I can get it right here. Uber Eats will have my meat right here in the next couple of minutes. I can have booze brought to me, and then you can get whatever else you want. Gambling in a second, sex in a second. So everything is, in this Kali Yuga, in this age, basically every step we're performing sinful activities. So what is our qualifications to come to the platform of complete spiritual existence? The qualification is to associate amongst those, or those who are on that path of devotion service, to be able to read and understand and chant Hare Krishna. This is being given to us in order to be able to come up to this spiritual standard that Srila Prabhupada speaks about on the platform of transcendence. Become eligible for elevation to the transcendental position. So, although we have not acted piously in our past lives, as some of us, or we've acted very sinfully in our past lives and in this life, practically any of these qualifications here don't give us any hope to have acted pious in the past life and this life and be free of duality of delusion. But because of the one great quality, it said in this Kali Yuga there is no good qualities at all. But one good quality that stands over everything is the darkness, the age of darkness. But there is light, and that light is this chanting of the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this frees us from this dualities of delusion. It brings us to the level of complete absolute knowledge, absolute vision, no longer bewildered by the good and evil of this world, no longer controlled. We can actually see life as it is, as the Bhagavad Gita says, as it is. We can see life as it is, on the platform of the soul, not on the platform of these dualities of this world, always changing, temporary nature of this world. And that's where we all want to be. We don't like this change, actually. Your happiness is changing. Your misery is changing. Your this is changing. That is changing. Your body is changing. Your mind is changing. Where is there peace? And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, what is the question of happiness without peace? There is no peace. There's a disturbance all the time. But on the platform of this absolute knowledge, an absolute platform, it is bliss. Everything is bliss. So the Krishna consciousness movement, the devotees of the Lord, they engage us in the activities of Krishna consciousness. And that creates this piety, this real piety, which gives a rise to determination within devotional service. It gives that arising. That's why, everybody's here and coming and hearing. But as a process of hearing, we should engage in service. Now, for some reason, every time we speak about service, people think, well, service to humanity, service to my dog, service to my girlfriend, service to my boyfriend. No. Service to Krishna. By serving the root, the cause of all causes, by serving the root of the tree, all of the branches and the leaves, they're all satisfied. You don't have to try to satisfy your girlfriend and your boyfriend and the whales and the poor people and the rich people and all of these things. These are all duality. This is acting outside of the absolute vision. This is bewildered by material nature again. Real service means to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Loving service, that is real love. Everything else is lust, actually, is according to my own liking. Even this philanthropy work looks selfless, but it's actually extended selfishness, as Srila Prabhupada refers to as. I'll only help this particular type of people because I've gone through that. I'll only produce this type of music because it caters to this type of people. But what about the rest of the society? Okay, only whales. Well, what about dolphins? Okay, I'll save the dogs. But what about all the cows that are being slaughtered in the slaughterhouse every day? But you'll happily eat steak. Not care. But then there's a little dog. Oh, dog. Duality. But if we start to make proper endeavor on the platform of the soul, then everything is satisfied. Your dog, your whales, whatever, all of these things. Because you're serving the root. You're serving Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So by that service, it creates our transcendental piety, qualification, just like you need a qualification to go to university. There is a qualification to come to the platform of pure devotion service, loving devotion service, no motivation. Not approaching God with the idea, God, give me my new car. That's not love. That's not really approaching God with a proper attitude. It's approaching God, great, good. But pure devotion service, the Krishna consciousness movement is teaching that everything is done for God. Your whole life is situated around God, not on a Sunday, and then the Monday is whatever, back to, Every moment of our lives is situated around God. And Srila Prabhupada taught us. This one reporter was trying to understand, how do you understand this? You're saying every moment you're trying to be conscious of Krishna. You're trying to recognize Krishna. So he said to her, she's a reporter, says, just like you're here doing your activities, but every moment you're adjusting your hair to make sure that it is okay. You're conscious of your hair. Although you're performing activities, you're always conscious to adjust your hair and do all this. Just like that, everything we're doing consciously of Krishna. So we're performing activities in relation to the desire of God. And by doing that, we transcend everything. But then one has to know what God wants. What does He like? What does the conditioned soul need to do in order to become free from this delusion, to be able to actually serve God without motivation? So by the process of devotional service, by rendering service to the devotees or being able to be engaged by the devotees in the service of Krishna, we free ourselves. We stop this position of being forgetful of Krishna. We remember Krishna again. Consciousness becomes clear. I say that you start to see life in color. You start to see real life. We often, in our material life, when we look back, oh my God, everything is black and white, so gray. But when we come to the platform of spiritual existence, real variety, spiritual variety, love, real love with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His devotees, then we become enlivened. Life is exciting. Life is amazing. So it brings us to the level of real happiness. People think that by controlling your senses and by restricting yourself in certain ways, you're becoming miserable. Or people think that's miserable because that is a material conception of life. But we are taking on a spiritual conception of life. So by restricting ourselves materially, we're allowing ourselves to approach the platform of devotion service, which is unlimited in its happiness, in its bliss, in its existence. So this is real work. Material work is on the platform of illusion. It comes with the body, dies with the body. And it's temporary. But this work that we're engaging in, it does not die. It continues, life after life, if that's the case for us. But it is on the platform of ultimate transcendence. It's our real self associating with God. So, engaging in service must render service to Krishna. What does that mean? That means chanting Hare Krishna, that is service to Krishna, to please Krishna. By just like if somebody says your name very nicely, it's very enlivening to us. Or somebody calls you, or somebody talks about you, or glorifies you. So similarly, we're glorifying Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna. we're serving Krishna. Just like if somebody comes to your house and cleans it very nicely, you become very pleased. If somebody cooks for you very nicely, right? They know what you like, and they make a nice preparation, then offer it to you. You become very happy. Somebody cleans up after you. Somebody buys you flowers, right? Everybody loves flowers. Who doesn't like flowers? Krishna loves flowers. So all of these so-called ordinary activities are just redirected towards Krishna. And as a result, you get also, just like, we offer all of these flowers, nice flowers that devotees have bought. Later we'll take him down and we'll give him out. There's garlands that are being made, offered. So then you get also, the food is being offered, the bhoga, we call it it's becoming prasadam, it's being offered to Krishna. And then in a little bit, you go downstairs and you'll be able to take as much as you can up to your neck. It's very pleasing. There's the meditation, the kirtan. It is very pleasing. So by serving Krishna, everybody becomes satisfied. We don't have to endeavor independently of that. So we're encouraging people to engage in that purifying activity of Krishna consciousness. So you can come, you can volunteer, you can help. We have a garden, you can help in the kitchen, you can help clean up, you can do all of these things. And it's very purifying. Sit down, chant with the devotees, come hear the classes. By practicing this regulative devotional service, this process of devotional service, we will transcend all of our material positions and go beyond any of this whole material conception of life and become completely free. That's ultimately what we want. Everybody wants to be free. So this is a freeing process, and that's what Krishna is speaking about here. When you become free, you become completely fixed on serving Krishna, determined, excited, happy, enthusiastic to perform that, because it's enlivening. It enlivens the soul. Become enlivened in this process. A whole life, not just like, it's not like, in university you can live in a frat party and have parties every day. You seen that? If you go to Georgia Tech, it's like homies just passed out on a couch on a Wednesday afternoon. And then when you hit 30, 35, and you can't drink as much anymore, you can't smoke as much anymore. But this process, it goes on and on because it's beyond the body. It's completely beyond. You hit 70, you're not miserable in a retirement home. It's like you're enlivened. You realize you're completely beyond any of these things. So we should take this up because it's for our ultimate good, even though in the beginning it seems very difficult. But that which is difficult, just like we described in the beginning, the universities, you want to do something good in this world, something worthwhile, it is difficult. So spiritual life, we're completely going against the grain of material energy. Going completely against what everybody's telling you, what you've ever been taught in your whole life in America, what we've been taught in our schooling system. Drink, smoke, have a lot of sex, and try to make a bunch of money. That's how you'll be happy. But the Krishna consciousness movement is saying, don't do any of these things. Go completely against it. Avoid it. Don't do it. Focus on your spiritual life. Focus on Krishna consciousness and serving Krishna. It's completely against all of the principles of material society, the pillars of material society. So then you have to be very strong, determined, willing to work at it. So this is the process of devotional service, and just because it's a little hard doesn't mean it's like it's exciting, it's enlivening. It's really easy at the same time. Chanting, dancing, and feasting. That's our process. Who doesn't want to sing, dance, and just have a big feast? It's like tomorrow, if you'd like to come, we have a nice little feast. So it's like a feast every day, practically here. So please come, please engage in the process of devotion service. You can help clean, there's always things available. For the women, they have a little thing called Rupa Manjari Institute, in which they teach the traditions which have been lost in this new age. People don't know how to cook. Specifically, women are meant to know how to cook because they got to feed their children. They're not being taught that. They haven't been taught the basics of life. So we have a nice father and mother that are staying here, and they're teaching all of the nice cooking, where you can cook very nicely. What you're eating downstairs is cooked by some of the mothers that are here. You can learn from him. The women can come and learn cooking, cleaning, and then what else do you teach?
Cooking, cleaning, garland making.
You can learn how to make those nice all those garlands. You can learn, what else?
Rangoli.
It's called rangoli. I don't know how to describe that. Anybody wanna? Decorations, yeah, it's like a nice little decorations you do. What else?
Yeah, then we are making these decorative items from this cardboard boxes, you know.
Making a lot of decorating items. So there's so many things that engage you. Gardening, learning how to garden, right? Everybody wants to know how to grow their own food. So you can come and learn all of these nice activities with Krishna in the center and see how it practically changes your life. And the men, we have an awesome program too. You can come and we travel all over the country in a van and have a good time. And you get trained in self-control and cooking and cleaning and all of that. We're not so artistic. We don't know how to draw and do all of those things. But you know, you can come have a good time and learn the process of Krishna consciousness. We have classes and different programs going on all the time. Okay, is there any questions or comments from the class? Please feel free to ask. Anything at all? Charandeep?
Prabhu, sinful life covers us from knowing our original constitutional position, and pious life is meant to reveal it to us. So you have mentioned...
What is?
It's meant to reveal it to us.
Pious activities?
Yeah.
Yeah, to some extent. It's helpful in that process, but it may bind us more also. That's what I was speaking. There's this material piety is not freeing us from, it's actually binding more. Karma bandhanaha, one just becomes bound more. You become my spiritual master says, by good karma, you become very rich. What happens when you're rich? You're puffed up, egoistic, right? Sometimes you meet really rich people that never went through any difficulty, just ego, straight ego. And then from that ego, and then degrades them, and then they engage in so many disgusting activities, and then they go into bad situations. So just because you're pious doesn't particularly mean you're in a good situation.
Yeah, I had a comment regarding the material piety. The philanthropists, they do a lot of materially good work, and ultimately it doesn't reveal their constitutional position that they are the servant of God. And they think that they are one of the overlords of the world.
They're the what?
Overlords.
Overlords. They're the greatest people on the planet.
Yeah, they're the greatest people on the planet. And they promote such things as education, just to make people a slave to another overlord. And they promote development of so-called underdeveloped countries and remove people from God-conscious villages and move them to urbanized demoniac cities.
Yeah, or feed them meat. They're hungry, so feed them all meat.
Yeah. Why don't we kill the cows because the children are hungry?
Yeah. Anyways, one famous, I won't mention her name, one so-called pious lady looked at as a saint, went to India and fed all of them beef, all the hungry children beef, helped them. But actually now she just put them in a situation for lifetimes. They have to suffer in a hellish condition.
Yeah.
So anyways, go ahead.
And they promote women empowerment to encourage women to get jobs, get money, and not leave them any time to take care of their family or take care of their children. So ultimately, all the philanthropists, they are doing demoniac activities, just charity in the mode of ignorance. The only charity, as Srila Prabhupada says, is to promote God consciousness.
Yeah, there's only scarcity in this world.
It's the only scarcity in this world.
So there's under this assumption of material piety, then so many things go wrong. You may be thinking you're helping some person, just like somebody is drowning in the ocean, but you go and save their clothes. But you don't understand what it actually means to save someone. Save their clothes because you identify the body more than the self, the soul that is within that body. So then the activities you may do, thinking something to be nice for someone, is actually detrimental to them and to yourself also. So this is why it's required to understand the science of Krishna consciousness, or the science of life, you could say. This is life. I mean, to understand, go see beyond just this material energy. Otherwise, you always, this duality, it creates so many problems. What is seen as pious is actually impious. So yeah, there's so many problems with this delusion. Krishna speaking about that, born into this delusion, bewildered by dualities arising from desire and hate. So, so it's important to become free from that. That's why the Vidya Vinaya Sampanya, the real yogi, the real, the real person who's situated in spiritual life, he sees beyond the body. He sees beyond the body of a cat, dog, whatever, poor man, rich man. He sees the soul. So otherwise you cannot understand. Otherwise it's all bewildering. Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, in this verse is Drita Vrata. I think that's the last line, with determination. So how does that apply to devotees as far as, because you see karmis, materialists are working very hard to, get their sense gratification.
Yeah.
Sense gratification, but, we also have to work hard as well. So how does this atyahara, we're chanting this in the morning, this over endeavor come into play when we're trying to, push forward the Krishna consciousness? Is this over endeavor only come as far as like endeavoring for material things, or can you also over endeavor in Krishna consciousness?
That's what the verse says. Over endeavor in material.
Yeah, that's what my question is.
Yeah, so
can you, if you over endeavor in Krishna consciousness, is that like?
There's no such thing as over endeavor in Krishna consciousness. What is over endeavoring?
Because Guru Maharaj was saying how as far as burning yourself out, he was sitting here and he was saying.
Then you have to. That's why the point is made here that you should take shelter. So then you have to see that you might not have a right conception of what is devotional service. So there is no over endeavor means you're just burning yourself out just by doing work. But if you're Krishna conscious, endeavoring on the platform, laulyam is a qualification to be greedy for devotional service. To want to become more Krishna conscious, that is the endeavor. And so, but then if you're over endeavoring in your mundane conception of devotional service, then it's a problem. So you have to endeavor with the proper conception. That's the point. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else? Any other questions? Or anything? You have something? No. Okay. Anything else? No. Okay. All right. Oh yes. Oh, you want to announce? Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So just Prabhu spoke about this Rupa Manjari Institute. So this is specifically for Matajis, means women. So there will be a formal opening of this next Sunday. It's Vijay Dashmi, means festival where Lord Ram came victorious. So just to give you a gist of what this institute will be about. So it will be basically training women into various arts and cultural aspects of Krishna consciousness. Like we have for the women or for devotee Matajis to understand, we have philosophical classes on the weekdays. So you can come and join them. We welcome you all for that. Then there is etiquettes and culture that you can learn, that we practice in Krishna consciousness. Then there are different arts that we use in Krishna service. There's, like you see, these floral decorations. So like these floral decorations will be there. Rangoli will be there. Rangoli is a rice art. If you just Google it, you'll get to see some pictures of Rangoli, beautiful art, which is again into the service of the Lord. And then we have gardening, because we want to have our own flowers, vegetables for the Lord. So that will also be that is also included. And there are more different arts, like how to braid yourself nicely as a woman. Many things are there. So this all we just want to it will be a formal opening for this next Sunday.
What time?
Maybe after this class we can do it for 5-10 minutes, something like that.
Huh?
After this class we can do for 10-15 minutes like that.
Oh, wait, what do you, no, when, what, so you'll do this in the evening time? What time? You'll announce what time this thing will be?
Yeah, I'll convey it to you and then
Okay.
it will go through the
Okay, yeah, so you can get, all the women who want to do this, you can get in touch with Shubhada Mataji. She will get your number, and then she'll send you a text about all the information, and then what days it's happening, and what time it's happening, and sometimes they may not be happening, sometimes it
Yeah.
happens, so she will be able to convey to you all of those things.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the most important part, cooking.
Cooking, that's
Yeah.
that's
So
everyone's
you will
favorite.
be cooking all these delicious items that you are having. So that also you learn. Like the last week they learned jalebis and then they practice on Sundays. So this all art you can learn yourself also. So we welcome all of you, and you can bring your friends, relatives, anybody is interested. Please bring them also, because it's good to give the good things to others also, isn't it? Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so all this Sunday program, obviously, it's happening every week. So please come and engage in hearing and chanting about Krishna. And there is books back there that you can buy, more books if you have some already. And then everybody can head downstairs and there will be a serve out. So you can take as much as you like. Please don't waste any of it. It's been cooked with a lot of hard work. If you can't finish it now, there's to-go boxes you can take home with you. Or if you want to take more, you can finish it now, and you want to take more to take home with you, you can take more. And then give it out to your friends, your families, whoever you like. So thank you very much. Thank you for hearing and being patient. Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.